What's up, everybody? It's your boy Drop Gems. I'm back with another gem for you today. It is, of course, as you can see, The Conjuring 2013's The Conjuring. Man, oh man, this is gonna be a rant. A rant in a way, definitely. But The Conjuring, the original Conjuring 2013 is directed by, I believe, James Wan. And, starring, as you know, Patrick Wilson and Verima Flingma, whatever her name may be. But yeah, Vera Farmiga. But from The Departed, I'm sure you know her from that movie. Plays a psychiatrist, Leonardo DiCaprio's love interest in that movie. So let's get down to The Conjuring. And yeah, so everyone's seen this movie pretty much. It's got a lot of hype behind it. It's The Conjuring. So I want to first get right to it, and I want to discuss my problems with this movie. Period. The bottom line problem with this fucking movie, okay? Is the Warrens. And that's it. The Warrens, I have Wikipedia up. We're going to go through a couple things in Wikipedia in the plot shortly in a second here, because I want to get fast as fucking ran as fast as possible before, things get bad. So before I make a fool of myself worse than The Conjuring and the Warrens. So the Warrens, they're supposedly quote unquote demonologists, and they've been doing this for years and years. They finally get a movie company, as you can read from Wikipedia, how badly it was to get this movie made. No one wanted to put their hands on it. No one wanted to make it. A couple fuckers finally made it, and of course they made a shit ton boatload of money off this movie and off many sequels, which we're not going to discuss. So we're just going to discuss The Conjuring itself, 2013 film, and this piece of shit here, tries to scare you, and it does a couple, two, I'd say about three scares, and then it goes to that possession thing. Then it goes straight to the possession thing. But let's stay on The Conjuring and the Warrens. My problem with them is that they're so-called demonologists. There's no proof of demons. There's no proof of any ghost, in the world. There's no substantial evidence except for faith, blind faith. So something you can't see, obviously. I'm not going to get into all this religious shit, but what I will say is that, there's no proof that these things are true, and they don't say it's a true story. They do in some way, but they don't. They just say it's based on their case files and all this shit. I never heard of this case that they worked, and this is all a work of Hollywood, a work of magic, a work of, fuck you, you're an idiot, if and a lot of and they ate it. Everyone ate it. I didn't eat it. I didn't go to the theater and put my money on this ticket. You fucking damn right. I didn't rent this movie. I think I saw it at a friend's house playing it or some shit. But I've watched it a couple times since then, I believe on Netflix, and it has its moments, the film. I'm not saying it's dog shit. I'm not saying it has. Of course not. It's a good film if you want to get scared with your girl or something like that, or any time of the week. It's good. It's a good movie. It's not bad at all. The actors try, but the thing is with the Warrens is this movie's based upon them. Some people coming in don't even give a fuck about the Warrens and who they are. They just believe it right off rip that there's some kind of exorcist religious people, and that's what they make them as, these heroes, these heroic religious people that fight demons, and no one else in the world can do it. Guys, no one else in the world can see these demons and fight ghosts but the Warrens. And since they're so fucking special, these Warren people, they get to make these millions and millions of dollars finally. After years and years of trying to be famous, they make millions of dollars. I've seen them in previous TV shows and documentaries trying to display their so-called, poltergeist activity on video and have different case studies years and years before this fucking movie finally got made. And I knew it was coming eventually. They were going to do it eventually because they're just trying so hard to lie and convince people that eventually the lie becomes truth and people will believe it. So, because you believe it yourself, if you're, like they do, they believe these bullshits. So they're bunch of bullshit. They're pieces of shit walking to the toilet bowl, and we just flush them down the toilet, which we should have done, but we didn't do it. So they held on, they keep pressing, and they make this movie, and they got Patrick Wilson playing this guy. Imagine, this guy passed away, I think, before the movie was released, but can you imagine? He's like, oh man, all my bullshit and all my lies and all my crap has finally fucking made something real. I knew it was all not for nothing, and he thinks he's got some credit in the afterlife or whatever there's going to be, but there's, he has no credit with me here on earth or in the next life when I'm sleeping or whatever you want to say. So yeah, the Warrens, I'm going to go and rant about them because it's a bunch of shit, and you've seen them on talk shows. You know this shit. You know it's a bunch of trash. You know it is. And then they say here in Wikipedia, they're giving them credit for the Amityville Horror. They purportedly real-life reports inspired the Amityville horror story and film franchise. No, their reports did not. She was a bunch of shit. She was dick riding it all the way, trying to make her own fame and her own money off this Amityville. We all know who made the Amityville horror, and it sure hell wasn't her and her husband. These fake, manipulative liars, and taking people's money and doing investigations previous to this. They made plenty of money taking it from families. This family in the film, they took this money probably from this poor fucking family in real life and said, oh, yeah, you got an exorcist poltergeist. We exorcised it. Give us the $1,000. You'll be sick. This poor fucking family. How many families have they ripped off? How many? So you people tell me that, and Hollywood eats it up and makes money off of it just some more. They still fucking make money off of it, and the fam, it's just, man, you got to be blind, and you fucking are blind with this shit. So there's my rant on The Conjuring 2013 and my little jump around analysis. There's one other thing I wanted to cover before I go to the plot and cover the plot, and that's it. Wrap this shit up. Is about this man's haircut here in this film, this actor's haircut. This is the most horrible. We all know this guy from a show or two or a movie or two. He plays a character actor, someone you'll see in a broad range of movies and films playing a just obscure character that's just there. And here, look at this fucking hairdo. They try to bring it back to the 70s, and this hair is so shit in this movie. I don't believe it. It's just so shitty. Some of the costume work and the makeup. It's just lazy. But yeah, there's a couple. I'm not gonna knock this film all the way, but it is a rant, definitely more side on the rant. But I will say that this movie has its moments, But like I said, with all other, paranormal movies, it's really there's a really cool moment here in this film where the mother, spoilers, of course, that, so fuck off, and is playing a game of clap with her daughter, and that is probably the most freakiest part of this movie. And the clap comes up behind her. It's really cool. There's nothing else like that. There's a part that here you see in the trailer, which is cool, but you don't see anything. You don't see anything. So give us something with the visual. Too many movies rely on the audience members to be scared by nothing, to be scared by. Look at that, the cheap pilgrim in the background. What the fuck was that? And this actress here, she tries to play Lorraine Lauren. Like, Lorraine is alive, obviously, still, and she wants to make her proud and play her just as she would play these cases in real life. And it's a bunch of shit trash because it's, whoa, that's freaky. That shit is too much. Yeah, so they really fucking hit you, man, at a couple points. I gotta give that movie credit, man. Yeah, I'm smiling when I'm seeing this trailer, because it does deliver, at points. Oh, man. But, you got to give Miss Thompson here, I think Miss Lily Taylor, she does a great job. I believe that's her. Yep, Lily Taylor, she's great in the film. You buy her possession. You buy her struggle. You buy that shit. It's cool, man. Like, she does very, very good in making you believe. Now, the Warrens here, of course, you just don't buy it. They're just a bunch of shit. They're always good people, of course. There's nothing bad in them. They want people. They want to help and do everything they can. They're not human, of course. They're just so above humanity because they can fight these demons and everything, and no one else can. But they can, and they have this. So they come to the house to fight him, and of course they get rid of them and all that bullshit. But yeah, so we got to give props though to the scares. Very good. There's a couple good scares in there you guys will enjoy and get scared of, and you will think about this movie afterwards a little bit, a tiny bit, and you probably will watch it once more or twice, or won't have a problem watching it once or twice. So I have to give credit where credit is due. Like I said, I'm not a biased person, and I don't ever want to be biased. I always want to keep an open mind with these movies and when talking about them. So let's go over the plot real quick. I was going to do a little more on this Wikipedia, but this movie made a lot of money off a small budget, so you have to give respect there as well. $20 million budget, and you can see kind of where the money went. They have cool sets, they have awesome set designs, and yeah, they have some good actors. They're trying to pay a couple bucks too, so it works. And look at that money it made, 319 million worldwide. Great. So that's cool. Anyways, let's go through the plot of this movie. So in 1971, blah blah blah, I'm not even gonna give the specifics of this movie. Let's just break it down really quick. So there's a family that moves into a new home, of course, a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. There's no one really around. Some strange things start happening. First, of course, it's always the dog that starts barking and seeing things, and it dies. Birds start hitting the house and dying. There's sounds. There's, the wife there, played by Lily Taylor, is experiencing some kind of attack. She has bruises on her randomly. So finally, they don't have any answers. So they go right to the Warrens. I believe Lily, yeah, her character is in a seminar at the Warrens because they're demonologists at this time, and they have done previous investigations. So she tells them what happened, and what's happening. And they say, okay, finally, they're a little reluctant at first, which I don't know why. I guess the wife, Lorraine, has this sixth sense. Obviously, she's got to have it all. Got to have it all. She's got psyche. She's got clairvoyant, clairvoyant, fuckvoyant, shortvoyant. She's all this shit. She knows everything. She's in this world and she's in that world, so she's all over the place. Without drugs, people. Without drugs, this woman is all over the fucking radar, the spectrum. So cool. And anyways, so they get into the house, they do this investigation. The family seems to be coming apart at the seams. This poltergeist activity is ramping up. People are getting attacked physically. It's cool, man. They try to scare you with a couple good scenes, which they do pull off very well. James Wan, of course, he's going to put in some scares, and he does it. So you can expect that from a James Wan movie, and he produces and he delivers you what you want at times. And it's cool because they have to do an investigation. They bring a team in the house, and it's cool. There's a scene in that movie though where the team comes in where I thought it was really fuck stupid, but it's okay. They set up cameras for back in the day. They got all these extravagant little cameras for back in the day, and they want to capture things on. Well, of course, in real life we don't see any. They don't produce shit to us in real life. The Warrens, they don't have really real video footage of poltergeists or anything. They say poltergeist activity. They might have like a dish flying off the table or some stupid shit like that, but they don't have anything substantial to prove. So they just come into the house and say, listen, this thing ain't going away. It's very bad. It's from this so-and-so person that used to live here and killed themselves. So there's a big little history story, and you're just supposed to care. And, you kind of care, but I don't know. It's a confusing film for me in a way, but let me get through this plot shit. So basically, the wife there, Lily Taylor, gets possessed, which is all right. I mean, I didn't like how they switched it to the possession, but okay, because they had a good thing going on with just the house being the possessed object, not her. But she had to be possessed. Of course, they had nowhere else to go, so they just said, fuck it, let's just have her possessed, like every other horror movie, and there's no big twist or no big ending or anything. She's just possessed. And of course, the Warrens are the only ones that can, exorcise this thing, and they go to the Vatican for approval. Anyways, I'm not even going to comment on that scene or that fucking thing. It's so passe, and we want to move on to the future and be reality about this shit. But I mean, it takes place in the 70s, so I guess they would have to do that. I guess they never did it before. They're the fucking Warrens. Did they go to the Vatican to make this movie? Did they ask the Vatican's permission to make this fucking movie? I don't know. Ask her. She's still alive? Like, no. So I don't know. So it doesn't matter to me. So you guys know what I'm saying. I'm being logical here with this shit. All right. So, anyways, they exercise what they got to do. They save the mother. It's a cool scene, man. She's trying to chase her own daughter through the house. It's cool. They really put the tension on. They really put that shit on at the end, and they make you believe it and they make you feel it. So I got to go with that. And of course, there's a bunch of malarkey talk and shit. It's not from the two main actors here. You would think that they would produce just a little more. I don't know, man. Like, there's something about these two that isn't right. Like, it doesn't fucking feel right to me. I just can't put my finger on it, but there's something I don't feel right. When I think about it, it just makes my stomach a little missing. Like, there's something missing with these two. I don't know what it is with this movie and them, but it's just, wow. It's so fucking, like, just weird, I have to mention that. I don't know if anyone else has felt that or knows anything about that, what I'm trying to say, but anyways. So basically they do what they gotta do, and it's done, and everybody is happy. The mother is okay, so no harm, no foul. So you know what I'm saying? It's just to show. It's really just to show that the Warrens are these special people, and they're the only ones that can see these things and hear these things and take care of these things. They're special, and obviously they're special because look at the money they made, millions. And they finally did it after years and years of trying on, A&E, on Halloween History Month, or whatever. They try to get their little shows across, the little fucking Amityville interviews they would always do to try to get their names out there. And they did it. They accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. And anyone, good or bad, that has a mission or has a goal and goes out in life and accomplishes that mission and does it to the fullest extent that they wish, I'm telling you, man, I give all respect and props. So I do have a lot of dislike for them because of the scamming of the audience, the people that buy these movies, and the families that they previously scammed out of money. claiming that they were possessed or whatever happened there. You know shit happened. You know what I'm talking about. Don't shake your head. Don't fucking roll your eyes because you know. So, anyways, I want to get off this, and in the end, everyone's happy, blah, blah, blah. End of story. So, The Conjuring, 2013. Would I watch this movie again? Yeah, sure. I'd watch it more than once. I would. I did. I have. Look at that. Cool. Cool little scene. So, you got to give it to the movie. It has it brings the scares. So, it's there. So I would watch this movie again. I would watch it more than once. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this movie drop gems movie. Hope you enjoyed this video and this real rant review. So, just tell the truth about a fucking movie. The Conjuring, check it out. It'd be a good one-time watch and definitely a good fucking Halloween watch. Look at that scene. Fuck that shit. Had me going. Okay, boys, I'm out before I see more of this trailer. This shit is freaky. Okay, thanks guys for watching. Drop gems.